Alright. We are here with Ashiok Dream Render. More of the Artisan format. I'm really liking this format. I wish it was here forever, but it's not. This is a blue-black control list. It can sort of be a mill strategy, kind of, but not really. You can make it a mill strategy, but again, not too effective. That's how it started, and I wasn't really down with it, so I just kind of got rid of it and turned it more into a blue-black control deck with the Toxic Poison Counter Proliferate package. So if I ever get one poison counter, all of a sudden all the Proliferate spells now also give a poison counter, right? Someone's car alarm's going off. I have the Surveil package, but there's not a lot of Surveil cards, but I think this is just fine even if it happens a single time. I'm not too excited either way. It's just alright. That's really it. It's just blue-black control, counter spells, instant speed card draw, poison counters, boatloads of removal. We don't have any board wipes, which probably means we lose a lot, but I'm willing to give it a try. So, like, comment, subscribe. Let's roll. What does this do? Enters the battlefield. Gain 2, scry 2. Whenever you cast your second spell, creature you control. Alright, you flicker things with your second spell onwards. Sure, not too exciting, I don't think. Yep. It costs 4 as well. What is that? Twitch recap. I've never seen that before. I will attempt to make them a discard. Easy. Alright, what are we hitting? Don't care about that. Cart, creature, planeswalker, don't care. Draw. Alright, both of these draw. I'll just take one of them. Keep the removal spell. Also, hello. Should I take the time to cast Ashiok right now? Probably not, right? Yeah, probably not. Probably not. I guess I'm hoping they cast their commander? Well, us losing is what's good right now, unfortunately. Okay. They did not bounce their creature. They could have. Alright, I found a land, and I guess I'm passing. My opponent did not find a land. They can bounce their own creature to scry one, and then redraw off it. They choose not to. Okay. I guess at this point I'm countering anything. Narset, huh? Probably makes sense to do this instead. Okay, no, and I guess I'll find time at some point in this game to cast that, so I get behind it. I can get behind it. Alright, they found their land. They choose to cast this and not their commander. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3? Nope. I don't play Call of Duty. I play chess and Magic, and then I don't do anything else. Alright, so they're doing a good job of keeping that unsummon up, so it's hard to, like, kill this. But it isn't necessarily doing that much that concerns me anyways. So it's not that bad. Excuse me, it's not that bad. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield, scry 1, second time, draw. Alright, well, I can't do anything about that. Again, leaving up this unsummon is just kind of funny. It really isn't that bad, though. It really isn't. Well, I mean, I'll play it when I don't know. I'm not interested. Not interested. I had my Call of Duty days 10 years ago. 15 years ago, actually, jeez. 10 to 15. I don't own a console. Okay, so do I anticipate for a land? Or do I just, like, stand here and do nothing? I guess we just stand here and do nothing. My opponent probably will not protect this 2-1 with the unsummon, in my opinion. In my humble onions. Legendary. Is anything a legendary? Not really. Okay, my favorite childhood game? Oh, jeez. I have no idea, actually. Maybe Super Mario Sunshine? That sounds right. I'll do that one. Okay, I like to see this, because I didn't think this was very useful. So I'm kind of glad they're just saving it. Yeah, it was a good game. Where's the part where you ask me if I need, like, a dashboard for my Twitch page or whatever? Oh, dreaded tap land. Actually, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. Alright, we take the opportunity to kill this, because if I don't, it will die. Or, rather, it may or may not die. I think it's better to anticipate for a counterspell than casting Narset. Actually, no, I don't agree. I don't agree with that a lot. I'm just going to play it. Playing Narset on an empty board just makes more sense. Oh! Alright, well, maybe not. 4 lands. Excellent. Why not? Gain 2, scry 2, sure. They've been dry on lands, but they obviously have a handful of things to do. I just hit 8 lands off of Narset. That is unbelievable. Unbelievable. 4 lands, 8 lands off of Narset. I can't believe that. Oh, and then look, the next 3 cards are all like... You've got to be kidding me. Whatever. It just makes me not even want to play the game. Yep, well, I mean, I'm forced to do this now. Guess I get rid of a land, but if I do, I can't cast really anything. Well, I kind of can. Fine. How many cards? They have 8. That was just unbelievable. Second spell each turn, sure. Venture into the dungeon. I can't believe that. Okay, well, at least they didn't draw. Scrying is, I mean, sort of like drawing, but it's not the worst. Yeah, Magic can be hard. I'm gonna mill them because they've scryed 2 on top, which means it's probably crucial that I don't get hit by said cards. It was a land and something. Sure. Well, none of that is terribly useful. Well, at least the last card in their hand, I guess, can't be cast. Fatal Push does not have Revolt. It will after this dies. Such is my luck there. Well, whatever they scryed on top, I would have just gotten rid of anyways. I guess I'll just send it. I don't really care. Doesn't matter if, like, Ashiok lives or dies, in my opinion. I don't think it's crucial to the strategy. Beasley Magic time? Well, something like that. We are getting kind of, cyberbullied. Like, a lot. I will pay 3. You need to experience this game? Well, Magic is a very, 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 very big game for sure. But I do like it. I do be liking it. Okay, removal was pretty decent, I think. Maybe, sort of. I should probably just straight up kill this right now, because I don't want them to untap and do something weird. And they can't recast it, so this is fine. I'm also at a slight advantage with this in play now. I can apply pressure. Never mind, my opponent just played a flyer. And a random 3-2. Alright, well, I'm out of gas. I can seek a card here. I don't think my opponent will block, but maybe they do. That was a probably good, really good draw. Maybe. Let's see if they swing. I mean, let's see if they block. Okay, I think that's fine. I don't imagine that's bad for me, but maybe it is. Who knows? Yeah, we don't really care if our commander dies. Fighting games? I haven't played a fighting game in... Whew. Mortal Kombat... Deadly Alliance? I don't really play fighting games. I mean, I'm not really much of a gamer, to be honest with you. They need 3 counters, and it costs 2 less. Can I put one on them right now? No. Let's start with this, maybe. Sure. And I don't see a reason to kill my own commander, minusing it. I can recast it, but, like, I don't see that as that crucial. When does this untap? When you no longer control the 2-3? I see. Or the 3-2, blah, blah, blah. Tekken 8. Yeah, that's the new one, right? I guess I kill this. I don't see why I wouldn't. Opponent's getting scry value, but it's not the end of the world. I am just, like, dying, though. I am certainly just dying. Oh, it doesn't help that I'm drawing a bunch of lands. It does not help. I can just blind minus, but I don't think so. Curiosity. Oh, wow, okay. So I really needed something like this to happen. I needed to, like, 2-for-1 my opponent. Or them to essentially just draw nothing. It was worse than a land as well here, because it's harder for them to cast their commander. Yeah, look at that. We bullied them out of this. But I don't actually have anything going on. I can minus and recast and minus again, and that's like 8 cards. But again, we're not really going to mill our opponent. It is nice to see what I don't have to worry about when you minus, and my opponent can't really utilize their graveyard. They are running stuff like this, right? So it's kind of neat. Ashiok's minus, but they're not searching their library or anything. In fact, they didn't even kill it when it was free to kill it, because it just doesn't really do much. But yeah, we isolated this card, which is really nice, and then we just slowly pulled ahead when it was done. Yep. Smooth Brain Red. I wonder how this is going to turn out. I can shut down their commander, Devotion to Red. Whenever a non-token dies, you make 1/1s. Actually, shutting down their commander is actually just not good. So, probably don't want to do that. Unless I deal with everything around their commander. Guess that could work as well. Okay. I guess I fundamentally cannot do anything. That's a very... You shouldn't run that many tap lands in a mono red deck. It doesn't really make sense. What do I do now? Okay. Enters the battlefield, discard, draw. Let's do this, then. And then this. I don't think I need a... I don't think I want to land. Okay, we got one anyways. Okay, play this and then leave up this removal, that 3. I really needed that land untapped, but I guess that just means I'm not doing that. I wasn't planning on it anyway, so... Alright, we'll just play this and pass. Why is the mono red player taking 10 years? Why? You're mono red, it's not hard. Just play the game. Of course. Of course. Alright, so I guess I play a land, and then, yet again, it is tapped, so I can't cast both my spells. Whoop-de-doo. I'll just cast Hero's Downfall, and probably can't really afford to take 4. So, there's that. I think I really need to draw 2 off this Illumination, which is why I'm not casting it yet. Okay, my opponent, yet again, just doesn't cast their commander. Just doesn't make any sort of sense to me. Okay, well, I love to see that. That's... Okay, now I just don't like to see that. Now I do not like to see that. Alright, another tap land, which means yet again I cannot play both my cards. I guess I'll play this one. Did we get any W's? No. We lost to a person emote spamming, throwing a temper tantrum, still winning. And now we're playing against mono red that's taking 12 years to cast Lightning Bolt. If a source you control would deal damage to a permanent's turn... Okay. And then when this dies, it deals 1? Sure. Yeah, oh, jeez. I'm losing my hair over this. Okay, so attacking doesn't go... They get 2 1/1s now when this inevitably dies. Well, I'm not hitting them. So I guess I'm not proliferating a counter. I'm just going to end up doing this. All of these are horrible. The disruption is not going to do anything. I guess I'll take the land that will wind up cracking. Oh, I can proliferate this. Okay, so I can actually get rid of it. That works. I mean, it kind of... It's like alright. It's not amazing. And then play this. It comes on my graveyard because I proliferate it. And leave up my removal spell. Yes, alright. You have dinner at 6? What are you, a nerd? I have dinner at midnight. Like a real person. Whenever a target land ends, 2 damage. Okay. You get heartburn? That's unfortunate. Oh, imagine I had this card last turn. Actually, imagine. Well, I have it now, but it's not going to do anything. Well, it's not going to stop their commander, I should say. I kind of hope they... Okay, they do. I was about to say they should probably completely ignore Ashiok, but they do not. Seek off Abyss. Very surprised they went after Ashiok and put me a 6 here, and they just didn't. Okay, let's see what's under this. Not that great. Okay, Drown in the Lock is a little unfortunate, but again, their whole deck is pretty cheap, so I'm not too riled up about that. I think I'm just going to be taking 4 here. Probably. They can cast their commander again. And I'm fairly certain they will. This costs 5, huh? I don't know. Yikes. Well, they don't have any of that. They only have 2 cards in the graveyard as well. Okay. I think my opponent's hand is all land, so I don't really know why they're taking 10,000 years to think about anything. So we take 4. They have 3 cards in the graveyard. Ashiok would make it 0 again, so the drown's not great. But, is what it is. Okay, gain a life. Probably just draw right now. Okay, so I can shut this down, but that does mean their commander just has a bunch of devotion forever, because shutting it down just does that. Maybe I don't do that. I would like a removal spell here, to be honest. This is not a removal spell, but it is a blocker, so that works. Okay. This is, I guess, kind of fine. I can pay 1 to make this a 5/5, and I can counter their commander with Make Disappear. Or Drown in the Lock. Both work. Well, they're letting me block first, so that's pretty good. +4 +0 and gains Trample. Okay, so we do this, and then we counter that. Opponent, what are you doing? You have 1 card. Unless this does something. It does not. Okay. What does this do? It's just a 2/1, destroy target artifact. It makes it a little difficult for me to swing. What do I do? Yeah, they're thinking, I guess. That's what we call that. So, okay. Oh, jeez. Okay, I'll play this to, like, block so I can swing. And then I will, I guess, play this. Sure. And then do nothing. So I have another counterspell on their commander here. Look at that. They didn't think about that one. They just snapped that one right off. Do I care about this? When this attacks other creature... I don't think I care about... Do I? Can I care about it, actually? I don't think I can. I guess that's just happening. And this is why I didn't want to swing. Apparently this is thinking. Oh, no. Yeah, they were really thinking there, huh? That's what we call thinking, I guess. Okay, so I'll do this. Block there. And I've got nothing else to do, so... Maybe I find... I don't know. Fatal Push or something? Nope. Okay, land, shut down this, and I'm basically forced to respect, well, maybe I can just swing. I mean, I have to kill my opponent to reduce the amount of draws they have in total, and I don't see a reason to play my commander, so I won't. Land, please? Land. Come on, you can do it. You can play a land, please. Okay, they cycle a Footfall Crater, which would have not done much at all. Alright, they found a land just a turn too late. Let's do this. I think I'm going to take Narset. I don't think Obscure... No, I'm going to take this because I think gaining 1 life is more important. There's a lot of 3 damage spells, and being at 4 kind of shuts down certain things my opponent can draw. That probably makes slightly more sense. I could be completely wrong. Wouldn't be the first time. They're dead in 2 total attacks regardless, so I don't have to swing with this 2-1. Yeah, I just boil this down to 1 top deck, essentially, is what I'm doing here. And, yep, alright. So I have 2 counter spells that are not really doing much at all. If they draw land, they're dead, because just casting this doesn't do anything. Okay, well, I guess our opponent's back to what you call thinking. Are they going to think for 180 seconds? Wait, what? You know how insane of a top deck that is? Now, it doesn't matter, I win. But that is just an insane top deck. Wow. They had the perfect amount of mana, too. That's insane. They literally had perfect mana for that. Wow, that might have been the first time they ever kicked it. I imagine most games of this deck don't actually go all the way to 9 mana like that. Wow, yep, but we still won. The proliferate triggers on this were really good to recur this a lot. Alright, Disdainful Stroke's not really good as a whole, and it's probably just not good here, notably as well, so I don't think I like this. I want more... Alright, this is much better. Army of Removal. Love it. Alright, play your commander. You do nothing but that anyways, right? Play your commander. There we go. I think we're going to go ahead and threaten its existence. I cannot be convinced to play around Spell Pierce in any stretch of the margin. Alright, they don't have any blue mana, but I'm sure they'll find it. Or play it, maybe even if it's tapped or something. No, they do not. Alright. Alright, so they got nothing. Just going to send this then. Okay, they do have something, but it's red, so it doesn't protect this. Alright, so they have pump spells. That's what I assume this is. Alright, looks like it is pump spells. They have 1 card in the graveyard. I am not really interested in doing anything. If I play my rat, I assume it will just die. Ashiok's ability is pretty relevant against blue-red. 1 damage to... Okay. What? Whatever you cast... You got it. Guess I'll kill that too. Land? Nope. Land. Yep. They missed a land drop. They missed a land drop. Alright, they found their land drop. Okay. That's adorable. Let us play this? No, let's play the rat to block that 1/1. And if they have a pump spell or something, I can get a trade out of this. They have 3 cards in their graveyard. Enters the battlefield. Return target instant or sorcery to your hands. They take Drown in the Lock. Alright, so this is why I really wish I could cast Ashiok. Because graveyard matters to this deck. For sure. Drown in the Lock is offline again. A little anti-synergy there. Not the end of the world, though. I'll tell you what. Alright, convince me you have something. Loses all abilities and becomes a 1/1 frog. Sure, I guess. Okay, my opponent just didn't do anything. That's interesting. Okay, do they have a counterspell for Narset, maybe? Is that what's going on here? That is not a counterspell. Oh, so this grows while you cast spells while it's in exile. I have never seen that card before. That's pretty cool. Thirst for Discovery. Sure, not the most exciting. Alright, nice. We just did it. Opponent's just feeling behind here, which makes sense. We have a lot of removal and prowess blitz-style decks really want a creature in play, and we love it when our opponent plays creatures. This is the second time Drown became useless once I played Ashiok, but I don't think that's... Like, it will hit something eventually. It doesn't... Like, their deck probably doesn't surpass 2 to 3 mana anyways, so this is pretty easy to do something at some point. And shutting down their graveyard is moderate irrelevant, because again, blue-red does care about their graveyard, especially when it's like super spell-based. So, nice. Alright, so I took out a bunch of counterspells and added some escape annoying things that can potentially just give me value where I'm running out of value. This could just be a value engine. Same with the card that I don't really ever get to use, which is... Where are you? Where is it? Contentious Plant. No, I lied. Uh-oh. We can't find it. Glimpse of Freedom. It's just like a spammy card draw thing that probably makes sense, so... Sure. What is this? Enters Venture. Sure. When it attacks, reanimate something if you have done a whole dungeon. When you complete a dungeon, return this through the graveyard to your hand. Sure. Cling to Dust feels extremely useful against them. And, I mean, so does Ashiok itself, so that's pretty neat. My opponent played a 1/1 and didn't have anything else to go alongside of it. Interesting. Artifact or creature, so that doesn't do anything. Sure. They also gave me something to cycle the Cling with, which is nice. And I can cycle Censor, because once your opponent knows about it, it gets, obviously, leagues worse. So I'll just cycle it here. I mean, it can still deny their commander for, like, a turn, but I'm just going to go ahead and make my hand a mystery again instead, so makes sense to me. Okay, sure. That's the only time I've ever seen this activated, other than when I did it myself. Alright, I don't think we have time to cast this. I'm just going to cycle it. Do we have time to play a tapped land? Probably, right? Does it matter? Do I have to? I can only play one spell this turn anyways. I don't really care if my opponent's spending their entire turn slowly venturing into a dungeon. I don't think that matters. It is interesting they're choosing to do this over everything else, but again, this isn't really that big of a deal. It's hard to complete the dungeon. There's not many cards that let you do that. It can be kind of difficult. No max hand size for the rest of the game. Sounds good to me. I like both of these cards, so we will keep them. Look at that. I got 8 cards in hand. Oh, yeah. This is probably the most value they've ever gotten off this card. It's funny. But again, I don't think I care. Until they complete the dungeon, it really doesn't matter. And even if they do, it also really doesn't matter. Really just doesn't matter. Like, I can deny their commander completely and just not care about that as a concept. They have a poison counter, so I guess I'll stop them from doing this now. And we will pass. Man, where were these games earlier? I am just so ahead of my opponent. They also just didn't cast anything and let me draw a bunch of cards, which probably wasn't the best idea. But they felt like venturing over and over was a good idea, so... Have at it, my friend. I will literally counter anything. My opponent just didn't cast their commander again. This exiles, so I guess I'll just exile this dungeon crawler. It does, I mean, it again doesn't Doesn't matter. I'm saying all these things, and I don't think they matter. This makes this cost 1, because I'll have 3 poison counters on them. That is a really good draw. Yeah, we just completely annihilated this person. I don't know what they had here that was castable with no targets. That's very strange to me, but we just annihilated them. They chose to spam this instead of caster commander, which I guess makes sense, but it means I'm not taking any damage, and you're also not actually casting spells. And in the intermediate, you're not really doing that much, but I get the idea of them exploiting this, because before they play their commander, they should try to venture as many times as possible, right? Just to get free adventures, basically, over and over. So I get it, but I'm drawing cards every turn, and you're not doing anything active, and you just... I don't think you can afford to take that many turns off simply doing this, but they went for it, and it just didn't work out. We just had so much value, too. So much value there. Man, I've been playing this more than most of the things I play when I stream. It's funny. I'm actually having a lot of fun with this, as miserable as some of these games are. I just like the commons and uncommons. You know, it's just slower. It's just a slower, calmed down format. I really like it. Alright. Do I like this hand? Choice of Fortunes is pretty decent. I have intermediate spells, too. Fine. Their commander is very annoying, though. It is very annoying. I will leave up a black source and kill their commander. Assuming that's what happens. It is exactly what happens. Alright. Another creature, so it doesn't trigger on itself. It's probably better to play a tap land than it is to cast Consider. So I'm just going to do that. Not really keeping up anything this turn. It's also nice to not have to constantly leave up counter magic. Pushing yourself away from that being relevant. It's just not terrible. Apparently they're a token strategy. Interesting. Okay, so play another tap land. You know what? I'm gonna do this and maybe search for something relevant here. That's decent. Actually, this is decent. It's slow, though, but it's not bad. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I should have cast that before I chose what land to play, though, but I didn't. I didn't. I did not. Okay. Let's not keep these two. More tap lands. Ay, ay, ay. Alright, it's fine. There's usually a turn or two always to play them. It's kind of just fine. Alright, well, my opponent's online right now, which I didn't want them to be, but there's not anything I can do about it. Does this block? It does? Okay, it blocks as is, which is a huge plus. It's pretty nice. Here comes the stupid tokens. If they were a normal deck, maybe I could win, but tokens mean I probably cannot. Seems to be a recurring issue for this deck. Guess I have to play it to just not die to the board. I can escape this immediately? No, I can't. This costs 6 to escape. And it's 5? No, it's 3. Oh, I can. Okay, so I can escape it. This does require 2 removal spells. That puts me in a much better spot, I think. Okay. Yep. It's just tokens. That's all it is. Just annoying tokens. I have to kill this basically immediately, or I am just instantly dead. I'm probably already dead, but whatever. As much as I'd love that, I need to find removal. Alright, well, Doomblade doesn't work against half their deck. Of course, that's the removal spell I draw. Why wouldn't it be? Sure, I found one. Gotta cast it. And then play this, I guess. Why don't you have vigilance? Why don't you do everything I need? Blast it card. What does this do? Sacrifice a creature, return this to your graveyard to your hand. Okay. So that's something I would like to Ashiok away, but it's kind of hard to do that. Actually, it's almost impossible because they just keep preventing it from being a thing. Hopefully they don't play the last card and I get disinformation campaign value. That'd be pretty neat. It's funny how efficient this 3/4 is. Like, it's basically saved me 28 life. It's really funny. Oh. It ended up being very important that I did that. Wow. What now? Just nothing. Cast Behold the Multiverse or Think Twice or something? Why does this card exist? Why does this card exist? It's so stupid, dude. Like, why does it exist? I hate this card. It just creates infinite mythic rares in a format that can't run mythics. Like, I don't get why, like, it's like a self-defeating format when it plays cards like this. I don't even mind the draft mechanic. I don't mind it. I just don't like how it can generate mythics. Like, what am I supposed to do? It just makes mythic rares. You can't do anything. It's just like 2-mana common that I can't counter. If I had a counter spell, I guess I would have to snap it off there too. This is probably unwinnable. It's also a lot of value too, which is, I mean, it's more manageable, but it is just so much value. It's just so ridiculous of a card. Like, I can stabilize and then lose to 12 angels. Okay, that goes away. This is more card draw. It picks up the disinformation campaign, which may end up being relevant. I don't know. Yep, let's do this. I mean, I'll play it out. I'm not going to scoop to it, but it's probably... Jeez. Probably looking real bad for us. Okay, there were 4 lands in a row. Actually, 5 lands in a row, because I drew one. Think twice? Let's just cast this. Maybe my opponent swings into it, and I can maybe kill something as a blocker? Oh, imagine I had Negate 12 years ago. The Modern Age seems fine. I do have a boatload of garbage to get rid of, so that's probably fine. I can't Stifle. I don't have Stifle or anything to, like, stop the sack this part of the card. So that's just not going to be a thing. I would love them to immediately use it, and maybe they will, right? They only get, like, 2 cards out of it because top decking nothing maybe gives me an advantage. I do have a lot of cards in hand. You could feel like it could be hard to make this do whatever, but at the same time, I'm not appearing to pressure them in any meaningful way, so they could probably just not worry about it. Nope, they are not even going to consider cracking it. There's no way for me to stop this, I don't think. Okay, that's fine. I blocked there. And then what does the first Tempted Ring do? Greater power. Draw, discard. Okay. So Narset lives, but I don't get a trigger. Does it live? No, excuse me, it doesn't. They swung with the... Right, that's 3. Sure. Yeah, Ashiok doesn't get a moment to stop that, which is unfortunate. Well, that would have actually stopped it. Of course, I immediately top deck it now. Yeah, Ashiok's not doing much. Let's cycle. Modern Age. They have the crowbar to blow this up, but I mean, I still get a trigger off it. Might not even be worth blowing up. Who knows? Let's get rid of you. Let's play you. Scam them with Toxic, but they have a 2/2 Vigilance. Not really gonna work out, is it? Think twice. Illumination, sure. Okay. Probably need some life here. Eliminate. Okay, well that kills the bat, I guess. Land. This has Death Touch too, so that kind of stops their commander from swinging. Let's see what's under this first. All of this is pretty decent. Maybe get rid of the Disinformation Campaign. And then cast... Let's put a poison counter on him. And then I can drown. This is a sorcery, right? Yeah, okay. So I have to cast it now, essentially. I guess I will. I suppose I'll also flip my 2/3. Might as well. Maybe my opponent will forget it's an enchantment. Because it's a... it's a whatchamacallit now? Creature. Half of the game has been just them holding this. Alright, they actually just cracked it now. I don't have any counter spells, but so be it. My opponent's drawn 3 lands in a row, but not really because Vault. It's not hard. Just play the free rares that shouldn't exist, opponent. There you go. They actually played them in the wrong order, too. That's funny. Oh, no, they did not. It's an angel, right? It's clerics and angels. I thought it was only clerics. Never mind. Alright, so I have to kill the Valkyrie. My opponent just didn't swing, which makes absolutely no sense to me. Feel like it was free. As free as it gets. Alright, let's kill the Valkyrie. I mean, I have to kill the Valkyrie. I really don't have a choice. Need to put a poison counter on him? Can I? I can with this. If they sack Golem, I basically have to kill it with Cling to Dust. So let us pass. Oh, I can cast this first, right? Do I have all the mana I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I can do this. Leave up removal and my Cling on the Golem. Or Golem, not the Golem. There are Golems in Magic. They did not do it immediately. Oh, it's a sorcery only, I see. Sacrifice an artifact or creature, draw a card. Alright, let's kill... nothing? Okay, sure. I don't think I can do anything about that. Okay, so now we do this. And then I stop Golem from being a thing. Well, gotta make sure I don't exile my relevant cards. Can't exile my Think Twice here. And now this card is a Mythic Angel, because of course it is. I don't think it gets an Angel right now, right? Did they gain 5 life? I don't think so. They gained 1, 2, 3. I think they gained 3. But you can see how this Vault card is just unyieldingly disgusting. Okay, so now we can play... do we want to play Ashiok? Does it even matter? I'm going to play Ashiok. I'm just going to send it. Start milling my opponent. In case they have some weird search card that ends up mattering. And everything in my hand except this is an instant. But I'll just leave up my mana in case something degenerate happens. Obviously don't have any attack. They can pay 6 to just do this. So hopefully they go for it and I just kill it in response. That would be the plan here. Good. So now I... Does it matter what removal spell? Not really. I guess this one. Maybe I did want to play this to just poke them with Toxic. Because they are at 3 poison. Maybe that would have made sense. Glimpse of Freedom is nice here. They're holding priority for the crowbar, targeting the glider. That's what's going on there. Again, no, swinging doesn't get me anywhere. Let's see what's under this. I can cast this once here. Oh, the priority is killing me. I mean, it is or it isn't a relevant spell, right? If we're in top deck mode here, you just sort of cast the card. You would assume. But I guess not. I don't know what it could be that... It must have targets? It must be like a removal spell? I don't know. I mean, if it's just a creature, you just cast it. It's not rocket science. Alright, they cast it finally. What does it do? Turn target creature enchantment for your graveyard. Alright, that doesn't work. Controls the graveyard. Alright, so it doesn't really do anything. It's just a 4-mana 2/2 with Menace. Okay, they finally do that, so no more 12 years of my opponent holding priority. So, whenever an enchantment put in the graveyard... Sure, alright, let's kill their commander, or do we start killing tokens? Maybe we just don't kill anything? We just, like... do this. I can do that again. Drown in the lock. Not ideal here. Not ideal. Alright, I'm always swinging with this, because I need to kill them with poison, obviously. I guess I'm just playing this. If it dies, that's fine. It's just another blocker. Drown is not great, but I don't think not milling my... I'm going to keep milling my opponent. I don't see what world I don't do that, so... It is what it is. We'll just have to take the L there. Drown's just not good. Loot it away with something or whatnot. I can think I can still just cast it. Maybe I can't. I don't know. I don't know how to read. Beginning of your end step. Creatures died this turn. Life says... Okay. Gain that much life and distribute that many counters. Sure. I mean, I am going to win with Toxic unless my opponent does something. Okay. They did some napkin math. Maybe they thought there's a way to kill me here. I don't think there is. Let's exile the Menace. And then we get to kill some tokens without any triggers. Block. Block. And I guess I will trade off here. Just to remove more tokens. Kind of sucks, but... It's a 1/1 death touch that wasn't going to do much anyways. They also don't have a tempted creature. Alright, they have an 8/8. I cannot currently kill it. Let's draw. I can recur this, though. I can block with it and then, like, have it come back and whatnot. It's not the end of the world, I guess. I almost want to mill myself so I have escape to constantly spam. I am nervous. I am basically... Oh, wait, no, I have a second creature. Okay, so they can't possibly get themselves out of this. Unless they have, like, a crazy top deck that I'm not aware of. Alright, that is not a crazy top deck. They don't want to swing because the spawn comes back and they have to sack a non-Gorgon, which would be this 8/8. This has Menace, so I can actually kill them in 2 turns. They actually, wow, they do swing. Alright. This is Escape 5. Okay. Oh, excuse me, Escape 3. We're gonna win. We're gonna win. I don't think my opponent knew how this card worked. I think we're gonna do it. No way. Mill him again for the sake of it. Oh, they were gonna draw a land too. Ah, that doesn't matter, but it's funny. I'm gonna do this now. Maybe I wind up... Ah, shoot. Okay, I'm not gonna do it then. I'm not gonna do it. Cling to Dust may somehow in some weird way be relevant. I don't think it will be, but... We did it. We did it. Wow. Wow, we did it. That's crazy. What a crazy game. I actually beat a vault here. My opponent may have been able to win if the vault was like spammed 3 or 4 more times, right? You can see how I would just fall behind resource-wise if they had 3 or 4 more rare, mythic rare angels that I had to deal with, but maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah, that was a crazy game. I juggled my life total. This was a token strategy too, and token strategies are really tough for me, but they didn't have too many things going on, and we had a card draw engine that ended up just giving us a lot of gas. We could have milled ourselves to keep going with these, which is pretty relevant, especially with this in my hand. Exiling my opponent's graveyard is not ideal, but you exile their graveyard regardless. You can't turn that off just to mill yourself, so... Crazy, crazy game. Crazy game. Love it. Okay, I like this a lot. It was cool. I think by the end of it, I had a much better list than I started with. I really liked how a lot of this came together. It's still not great because your opponent can still just win with recurring value that you struggle to keep up with. Your commander doesn't necessarily do that much. There are other commanders you can run instead that do slightly more, right? They're not as impactful in different ways and whatnot. But there's blue-black commanders you can play. Like, there's the 5-mana 4/3 zombie that you can keep reanimating, which is pretty decent, right? It's just like a parked removal spell if it can block spam and then maybe kill your opponent. But Ashiok just wasn't really there as a planeswalker, as a commander. So I think it could be something else. Again, I think that zombie, the 5-mana zombie, is probably better. You just run Snowlands and just call it a day there. But other than that, the list itself was cool. Blue-black control in this regard wasn't bad. Parked Death Touch is pretty decent. A ton of removal is really nice. And card draw is very important. So you do need to draw a lot of cards. Maybe there's a better commander that does that as well, but looking at them all, I didn't really see any. The win conditions of just out-resourcing your opponent is a bit slow in this format, right? So it does go on for a while, but if you like that, this is definitely how you do it. I don't know if this is as good as the Slimefoot deck. I don't think it was at all, but I do like this strategy. I just like the strategy. It's fun to play for me, but it's definitely not for everybody. Not for anybody. Yeah, it's not for everybody. It's up in the air, right? Like I can see how someone just doesn't like this kind of thing. And does it function? I think it does. You can win games. I think Emoti is an auto loss, but everything else that isn't Emoti and token strategies, you're not too bad against. I felt fine against really everything. I never found another control player, and I probably never will, because it's probably one of the weakest archetypes in this style of deck, right? Like, because again, you don't have a card draw engine in your command zone. So, like, you keeping up with your opponent is required out of your spells. But your spells are now not the things that are allowing you to win the game. Because you're drawing cards, you're not killing things. You're drawing cards, you're not countering things. You're drawing cards, you're not playing a giant evasive flyer to kill your opponent. So it's hard to do all of that. But it works, and it feels really cool when it does work. You get like a long game and finally grind it out, and you win at the end. That's pretty neat. You can also splash white. There are some Esper commanders that are, I mean, probably just better than Ashiok. You can splash white for like the vault that creates angels, the draft vault thing that last game had. You can just splash white and put that in here and just have that as a win condition. It is a ridiculously stupid card. I don't know why it's allowed. But yeah, if you want to generate mythics and stuff like that, you can play Xander's Lounge as well, too. There's not a lot of creatures to pull that off with, but it does start to chain with itself, which is just stupid to me, but you could definitely run Xander's Lounge as well. So, yeah, let me know what you thought about this. If you have other Artisan ideas, even though this goes away tomorrow, let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.